My name's Sappers. I work at the Ashton Sixth Form College. I'm a member of the Sport and Public Services team. I'm just going to talk to you today for your taster session about the possibilities of the PE courses that you could do at college. A little bit about myself first. I've been teaching 21 years now, which is obviously quite a long time. Really enjoy it still. My kind of sporting interests, when I was up to about 18, I used to have boxed to a decent standard, then played football for 20 odd years. And I've done a lot of marathon running towards the kind of last 10 years. I've done 20 marathons. Here's one I prepared earlier. So that's me running the Belfast Marathon. So I've just got back into my running. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about two courses that sound the same, but they are very different. And if that's what you take away by the end of this session, brilliant. So what I've done is a bit of an analogy. If you imagine it, we've got two eggs. So here's one I prepared earlier again. So we've got the sports science course and we've got the sport course. So we've got sports science here, so it's got science on it, and we've got the sport course. Now, when you look at these two eggs, they're the same size, same colour, they've got a lot of similarities. However, they are very different. Okay, so I'm going to go through those now, the similarities and differences between the sports science course and the sport course. Okay, so bear with me when I get this ready. Now, hopefully you can see that. That's good. So what we've got is we've got the sports science course and we've got the sports course. What I've done on this table is I've just detailed the similarities and differences. Let's go through the things that are similar. Both are 2 years, both worth 1 A level. So when you're at college, you'll do 3 A levels. If you picked one of these, you have to pick 2 other subjects alongside it. Again, you can see they've both got an exam, both coursework. In terms of practical, which I know is important for some of you, it's 10% on both courses. Okay, now the main difference, the sports science, if you enjoy your science and you really enjoy lessons at school and you want to carry it on, then you do the sports science, okay, because you enjoy the sports science, which is down here. If you don't enjoy your science but love your sport, you just pick the sport coaching and fitness one. Remember, both worth 1 A level, both over 2 years. Now, the only other thing I need to point out for you at this stage is if you wanted to be a physio, which I know some of you might be, then you have to do the sports science course. So I've put that down here. So if you're doing the sports science, you must do that. Key thing at the bottom there, both courses are just as hard as each other, and most importantly, both are worth the same in terms of university points and kind of credibility if you're going for an apprenticeship or a training manager's position there. Okay, so let's just have a look at this again. So we've got the two courses here. We've got the sports science, worth exactly the same. Love science, or you don't like your science, you've got your sport there, then you'll carry on. Both worth the same, both look the same, but that's more science, okay, that's more sport. And at the end of it, if you think about what we could do in an egg, although they look the same, these are the similar eggs, what you'd have is I could make that into poached egg and I'd make that into scrambled egg, and they turn out very differently. One thing you can't do is you can't do the sports science and the sport course alongside another A level. That'd be like having scrambled egg and fried egg for breakfast. It would be slightly odd, okay? So the only thing you've got to remember is, do I like my science? If I do, boom, sports science. If you like your sport but you're not that bothered by your science, then you would look at the sport course, both worth 1 A level. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set you a little task now. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, so you can pause this video, grab a pen and piece of paper, and what you need to do, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I'm going to have a go at it myself. I've scribbled some notes down. So you can pause it, time yourself for 5 minutes, and then what I want you to do is to come back in 5 minutes with listing as many jobs as possible that you can think of in the sports industry. I think you'd be surprised by how many different opportunities there are out there, whether you don't go to university, still some great opportunities there for you. Okay, so pause it, write a list, as many as you can, over 5 minutes of how many jobs in the sports industry that you can think of. Okay, so you can pause it now. Okay, hopefully you've given yourself 5 minutes. I've just got some things here that I want to go through with you. Okay, so bear with me again. Here's one. Here we go. So I'm hoping you can see that. So you should have your list at the side of you. Tick them off. I guarantee there's probably some that you've put that I've not thought about. I just did this list over about 5 minutes yesterday, just made some notes. So different careers that you can have in sport. I'm just going to unveil these and you can tick them off as you're going along, or you can add them. Now, as I've been teaching 21 years, I've supported loads and loads of students in different careers. So these are jobs that my students have gone into and careers and stuff like that. Okay, so for example, you might already be a coach at on a weekend, say your football team, your netball team, athletics coach. So you might go into your coaching, you might carry on like that. Obviously, physiotherapist is very, very popular. It might be that you go into kind of more business and look at sports marketing and stuff like this. I'm not going to go for each one, but I'm going to reveal each one for you to check off. Now, what a lot of the students do is they go into teaching. Now they become a primary school teacher. It might be that they become a secondary school teacher, like your PE teacher at school. Might become a college lecturer like myself. You might work at universities. So there you see you've got primary school teacher. It might be that you, a student I had a long time ago, a lad called Mark, he is now a professional referee and he gets paid about £70,000 a year to referee football games at a very, very high level. So there's another job for you. And as I keep going through these, my apologies. Okay, you can see there's a whole range of different activities and jobs that you can do. So you might go into strength and conditioning, so if you like your rugby, your weightlifting, stuff like that. And I'll just go through some of these now. I've also had students go into sports journalism. I've had students become personal instructors, fitness trainers. This is a really, really important one, dietitian, because nutrition is so important nowadays about what you eat and what you drink, when you eat it, when you drink it. There's lots of courses out there that would allow you to do that. It might also be that you work in the health industry, National Health Service, working on advising people on diet, how to get their BMI down, support them in their lives. I'm just revealing these as they're going along. This is a really fancy one. This is if you like working with maths and you like working on technique. Looking at angles, force production and stuff like that. As I'll just go through the rest of them, keep ticking them off your list. Loads of them PTI, fitness instructor, very, very popular. And I'll just go through, okay. Bear with me. Exercise physiology, so that's where you look at heart rates, you look at lactate levels, which I'm sure you're starting to study about and stuff like that. And you might even go down the business management route, like organising events and so on like that. First aid full time and so on and so on and so on. So use those, check them off your list. I think I've got about 42. So I'm hoping that's giving you an idea. Now, if you need any information about those two courses, I'll just go through it again. Sports science, love your sport. Then both worth 1 A levels. If you need any more guidance, you can always go to the college website. You can also go to the Twitter there. Sounds if I know what I'm on about, but my boss runs a Twitter. And if you want to drop me an email about anything specifically, then you can do that. I'm hoping at least you've got the basic information. Okay, take care and look after yourself. Thank you. Bye.